All right, we are live. Hello, everybody on the chat. Hello, Maree. Hello, Jazzy. How you
Hi,
guys doing?
Lisa. Good, good. We're melting. I'm melting. It's really hot. And I think we were just talking about this, hi guys, before that we started. And Elisa was saying what we're experiencing now, because we're a tropical place, was exactly what you guys were going through in your summer. And it's just like cloud cover. It's like walking out into thick pea soup and raining. And it's just, yeah,
Humid,
disgusting.
yucky,
Not
humid,
normal. Yeah, not normal.
nasty.
So,
So before we get to the weather and all that good stuff, I want to explain my eye because it was a really good message for me. So playing pickleball, I swung so hard that I came like this. And when I finished the swing, and I finished it right on my bone right here. So throughout the week, throughout the day, every day, like the blood just has been draining, draining, draining. And now it's like inside my eye. When before, for the last 3 days, 2 days, it was not, my eye was all white, but now it's red. So, so I wanted to talk about this because if you look at the Louise Hay books that explains, oh, if you do this, it's this, oh, the eye, you don't want, there's something you don't want to see, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't resonate. And then finally, um, it came to me and I heard you were beating yourself up. And I
mm.
said, because I wasn't playing as good as I usually do. And I was mentally beating myself up. I was like, come on, you can do better than this, or getting down on myself because I'm not playing right. And the body literally just showed me what I was doing to myself, right? I wasn't being compassionate with myself. And instead, I'm putting myself down because I feel like everybody else is judging me that I'm not playing well, right? So that in essence is like putting them before me instead of taking care of that little girl that is inside of me. And so the body decided to show me that I was beating myself up. And look, right?
You
And
literally did.
and so the message was, and it did not hurt at all. So, but the message, I feel like it's stayed. It's a long lasting message because it's almost like we're going to make sure that you don't forget how important it is, that you don't hurt, you don't do this. You stop putting others first instead of yourself, you know? So I guess the why I wanted to talk about this is because I want you all to notice when you are possibly doing something where you're beating yourself up, or where you're not being compassionate with yourself or with that little girl or little boy that's inside. And they need to go first. That, like, we go first. Like, we need to stop thinking about everybody else and just really look within and just take care of us. So I figured I would come and, and still do the show because I felt it was such an important lesson.
That was so beautifully said, Elisa. And a lot of the time too, it can be a reaction. It's just an automatic reaction, the way we think, especially if we're in that play type situation where there are others there, or whether it be work. And often as well, it's hooked into a deep subconscious wounding of some sort. So it's almost like, okay, it's time for me to drop in and to see what aspect of me is feeling like I need to tell myself off because I'm not doing well enough. And we've been so indoctrinated, just through school, through everything, that it becomes a natural way of being and thinking. So I think that's the most beautiful, eloquent way that you've actually put that for people. So, and then instead of getting mad at yourself for hitting yourself, you actually went in the other way and was going, okay, what's my lesson? And you were very kind to yourself about it, because it's so easy for us to go, I'm such an idiot, I hurt my head. And yeah, So it can just go on and on
Yeah,
and on.
I do not beat myself up like that. This is more like it's almost like it has to do with what other people will think. Like
Okay.
that I'm not a good player.
Yeah. So is
And
it that
so
self-esteem for you? Is it self-esteem and self empowerment almost? So you're
yeah,
looking for it from with outside, and
yes.
and it's
Yes.
interesting because that's with the Chiron woundings, that's exactly what will get played out for us, whatever our soul Chiron wounding is.
Yes,
So
and those
mm,
energies that are coming in that are out of control. I don't know if you've seen the Schumann resonance, but um it's like the colors and the lines, and I mean the stuff is out of control, like just.
mm,
And so I feel like the energies are surfacing, and I
yeah.
also felt like, and I don't know, Maree, what you think of this. Tell me what your intuition tells you. But I kind of got the message that now, because we're moving up, they are not letting our bodies anchor that energy, and it's coming out. So the body physically had to deal with the emotion instead of it getting bottled up inside. Almost
I see
like,
what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, almost like, no, 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 you guys are ascending now, and we can't go back to 3D where you're bottling up the stuff. This stuff needs to come out, and we're not going to let it bottle up anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Is that, I mean, that could possibly be something
It
where,
could as well. And but also what I was getting for you is that I feel that you've had such a great intention for yourself to go through this shift and to go through your, your ascension and your consciousness expansion. That it's almost like there's an aspect of you going, okay, well, we'll show you. You want this? Let's show you, and speed it up. But you're right. I think anyone that's had that sort of intention, it's probably definitely being amplified. So
yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
there's also something that Octavia had put together. And one of the intentions in there was I feel my emotions.
Well, you certainly felt that emotion, didn't you? That's what I mean. Whatever your intention is, it's almost like you'll get the message, you'll get the runner that goes from the outside to show you, to reflect
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
It's
And I'm
amazing.
okay with that. I am so
Yeah,
okay with that, because sometimes, I taught myself not to feel for so long that
yeah,
now it's like, okay, I'm learning to feel. And if even my body has to look like this for me to learn that, I'm okay with it.
yeah. Which is amazing. It's so beautiful. And yeah, and we'd all do it in a way that actually triggers us or works for us to actually then ask the question, well, what is it I need to be looking at? Well, what is it I need to go in deep and have a look at here?
Hmm.
Because that takes a bit of work and it's scary going into the unknown, and it's changes can be scary and uncomfortable. So people will put it off and put it off. I know we'll put it off and put it off. I'll get to that. Then next minute, whammo! Oh, I wish I'd got to that before that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. And so, another thing too is I see, Lady Hawk says she's sad, and Lady Hawk, you're not alone. Like, these energies are crazy. It's just, we're gonna have to work through this together, because it was kicking my butt. It was like I was feeling uncomfortable, and I was feeling like fear was coming in about things that I thought I had resolved. And then now it's back, and it's like, my God, this is like just like a constant up and down. And it's just, yeah, it gets tiring.
it does. And Lady Hawk as well. I think I mentioned in the last show or the show before about the deep grief that seems to be coming up for people, like for no reason. I'll just all of a sudden feel this grief or this sadness, and it's like, oh, okay, that's great. That's more of it being released. And this is, as Elisa said, we have suppressed, even if it's subconscious, so much of our emotions and our feelings, because that's what this system has been set up for us to do. So, and we have this great grief around the whole collective consciousness as well. I mean, Lady Hawk, if you're on a show like this, then you are usually quite sensitive, really quite intuitive, all of the things that go with that. And therefore, you're a little bit more, we're more susceptible to tuning in and tapping into global consciousness. And people are sad. There's a lot of people that, on the physical level, don't have jobs, are living in cars, don't have food, are struggling to feed a family, with what's going on, with the breakdown of this society. And so people are feeling it. There's a lot of grief. So just look after yourself, as Elisa's saying, really go in and care for yourself. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay, literally. Have a really good cry, watch a really good sad movie and just let it out. That's one of the things. I never could even cry in movies, no matter how sad it was.
Me
I
too.
could not cry
Me too.
in movies. Yeah. It was, and for me, I don't know if it was, I think I was about 4 or 5 and we went up to the city from my little country town and they had TV there. We didn't have TV. And this show called Lassie was on. I don't know if you've heard of Lassie, the dog show. But anyway, this dog got lost or something happened and I remember crying, and my older brothers, my teenage brothers, were teasing me for crying over a dog. So I remember thinking, well, that's it. I just can't cry anymore. And that was it. I don't think I ever cried in a movie since then. But it would have been deeper than that as well. Why? We suppressed. So, yeah. So, Lady Hawk, yeah, just let yourself be sad. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Just watch it, observe it, and just, it goes away. It really does.
Exactly. It does.
If you sit with it.
Yeah. And I think as soon as I recognize, that grief, it's okay, I can feel that. And I honor it and just acknowledge it. Sometimes that's enough just to shift it. Yeah. So, but, I mean, and we know if something's triggering us, if there's something that's triggering, like, if we've lost a loved one or if there's been something happen that's made us really grieve a situation, of course we're going to feel sad. And grieving's a whole different process that can take a lot of time. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting,
so guys,
isn't it?
Just love yourselves first. Like, take time to take care of you, of just really, like, imagine you had a little girl and the little girl feels like that. What would you do? What compassionate thing would you do for this little girl? That you need to treat yourself like that, with just unconditional love.
It's so true. And I think Lady Hawk's asked a good question, and it's I think it's down the bottom. Yeah. Do you want to read that one?
Is this the feeling of letting go of all the dreams that were formed from lies of this 3D crap? That's so interesting because that never bothered me.
Isn't that interesting? So that wasn't something that you got triggered from.
Yeah, exactly. It really wasn't. I mean, I guess because they already lied to us about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, so it's like, well, what else is new,
and this and that. It's interesting though, Lady Hawk, because I feel there's a lot of people that's happened for, and we're still in this transition time, which is really tough when you know the truth. You know some of the truth, enough of it to know that we've been swindled or that we've been living in this matrix of lies. And so all the dreams, it's interesting though, because what's happened for me is things have happened that have led me to a place where I actually don't have any attachment now to, like, I've had a house since I was 21. I've had about 8 houses in my life, and all of a sudden I don't have one. And I'm like, well, that dream's out the window. You're meant to have your dream home, and you're meant to, you live there with your partner and your kids. I've gone, well, I've got nothing of that. So I had to go through the grieving, though, of thinking I'd failed myself. So, Lady Hook, I thought I'd failed, even though I'd been given absolutely every opportunity. But then when I look at it, I go, oh, my God, Maree, you put so much of your time and effort into work, which then helped get you money so you could invest in yourself with all of the spiritual stuff you've done, with everything you've done in your life, So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I really do get that. Yeah, and exactly. So it's like, well, that was all a lie. We've worked all our lives for a lie. But that's our job here as souls. We chose to come in here now because we're powerful.
Yeah, and I also think that this feeling is not only what she's saying about letting go of all the dreams, but it's also the people that are suffering in the war torn places, also that collective energy as well is, it's also adding to the feeling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I agree with you. And Lady Hawk, and it's so what helps me sometimes is to actually be the observer of me. So I almost go into a
Yes.
little meditation, and then I just almost imagine like I'm just floating up above my head, and I look and I just observe myself. Um, and then what I do, this is another, it's really, really good to do this. I then become the observer of the observer. And this takes real concentration. It's just to allow yourself then to observe the observer observing me. And the more you can go back through being an observer of each observer, it's almost the more detached we get, but the bigger picture we can see. So that's something that you might want to actually do, or people might want to try as well.
Something that I tried and it helped me immensely, other than
Mm,
that, because I do
mm,
that a lot, I become the observer,
yes,
is observing from the heart space. So it's almost like you become the observer, but the observer is love. It's the observing is from the love space, almost like a mother looking at her child and just going, "Oh no," like, like pure love, like just, you know how you told me how you take the money and you like
yes,
imagine like just pure love, like that, like just
and that's
really
love.
like
Yeah,
looking at things from the love space and then understanding, oh, this is a lesson. Oh, this, like, it's like it puts it all in place to just love it because it's your creation. And so what I call loving the ugly baby. You guys know I say that you gotta, if you have a baby, you cannot love it because it's ugly. And so because we create everything, you have to love your ugly baby. And so I've become that lover of the ugly baby. Like, okay, I'm creating the space, or I'm seeing myself feeling this way. And then I feel compassion for myself because I'm doing it from the place of love. And that switches everything. It's interesting.
everything. It really is. It does switch everything. You're so right. Um, so yeah, look, if people are going through all of this, there's, what Lisa's saying is a great thing to do. Something I do as well is if I feel how sometimes you get tight feeling around your heart and your chest when you're feeling really sad, you can actually do a little, I do an energetic thing. So what I do is I tap the heart space. You can just do it in your mind's eye if you want as well. Tap the heart space, just twist it open and release pain. And then I pop green through, beautiful, soothing, calm green through my heart chakra. Really simple, but and you can often feel something like almost pop, oh, because your heart chakra is often being closed. So that will help to open it and release pain.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, guys, we love you. You're loved. Your guides are with you. Your angels are with you. I mean, just we have so much support and we don't even know it and we don't even use it. I mean, so many of us have these guides that we can talk to and hear, and we don't even ask them for help. We
Mm-hmm.
The angels, we are they're there to actually they're just there to help us, and we don't ask them for help. Just so much help out there to support us, and we just don't even remember to do it. But I can tell you, every time I call the angels to help me, if I feel a certain way, I swear to God, it works every time. I start feeling without noticing, right? Because you get busy and you don't notice, but then it's like, wait a minute, I don't
Yeah,
feel that fear anymore, or I don't feel, this sadness or, frustration, whatever, and it's gone. So,
that is such a great reminder. And I've been actually, giving permission to the angels to be with me all day, whatever it is that's needed. To my guides, I'm bringing up my dragon at the moment as well, and just really protecting myself or keeping myself feeling safe. I'm putting up a mirror so that anything that comes to me
yep,
is reflected back out. So like a big egg that's got mirror all around it. And it's only been like the last 5 or 6 days I've been doing that, just consistently, and it
yep,
just makes me feel like I'm cocooned and I'm safe.
yep.
So yeah, But I went through 2 years where I cried every day, and I knew it was something releasing, and every day I would cry, and I went, oh, I'm not ever going on antidepressants. I just knew. And then it was really interesting. I went to a beautiful friend of mine channels this amazing Egyptian min, and the question came, and Min started talking about this rainbow bridge, and how from our feeling vortex, which is around our solar plexus, belly button area, it's been so damaged and so suppressed within us as humans that as an empath, you would take on people's emotions and not, like, you'd transmute, or you wouldn't know what to do with them, so you'd think they were yours. But apparently, we actually have to clear and rebuild this rainbow bridge. And it was so interesting because I knew I'd just finished it. I'd just stopped crying. And then I found out what it was about. So now, yes, I'm an empath, but I don't have to feel everyone's stuff anymore. I just know that's what they're going through. So I have this solid rainbow bridge now where I can talk with people and I don't feel like I'm taking on their stuff anymore. It's like, yeah, so it's interesting. So sometimes it can be that as well, that we're actually rebuilding and repairing our amazing ability to be connected to others without taking it on.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I really didn't have a topic for today, but after talking to Maree, I kind of came up with a couple of ideas. So the first one was the weather. We'll talk about the weather because you guys were talking about it on the chat before we started this show. And so it looks like the weather's been doing crazy stuff. And I was telling Maree that I saw a video where somebody said the snow was like these flat, almost like if the little pieces of snow would get together and make a big, snowflake.
Lump. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was not ice. It was not slate or, whatever.
Hail.
So,
No.
so it was this really weird, weird stuff. And I telling Maree, like, it doesn't make any sense that the cards keep telling us and Tarot by Janine and other people, not just us, that it's like it's both natural and the good guys. Like, there is nobody bad doing anything bad to us, which doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to, does it?
No.
So, all right. So, what specific question shall we ask around this? If anyone has a specific question they want to pop up around,
can there be specific instances where it is the bad guys, like those big snowflakes? Like, why would the good guys do that? Like, I don't know.
Okay, interesting. As you were asking that, I was feeling, and this card came up. So it's a transformation card. So
Okay.
It's interesting because remember I was saying before the show as well that plasma, honestly, I could feel psychically and see this plasma that was in the sky at night in particular. And I feel there's Kathleen, I felt it was like, and remember that Jasper showed me it in a way, it was like pulling out, slides and changing slides. I feel like there's a big shift around going on, and that's what this card is telling us. So it looks crazy, it feels crazy, but it's actually changing things up. I mean, who knows what damage was done while the Dreyfuses were in charge, while those, and we've got the Hanged Man. So it's going to take some time to actually get everything maybe back into play and back into a clearer environment. That I've never felt or seen anything like the plasma that I was feeling for months in the sky. So I really feel like it's a huge strength. Look at this. I feel it's all a way, for some reason, it's clearing or doing something to help make our environment stronger and better. So and Mother Nature's definitely a part of this as well, Kathleen, I'd say. So and we can ask that as well, but that's always been what the cards have come up with. Like, yes, there's lots of it that is Mother Nature. There's definitely something else at play though too. So let's just see if
So I just feel like in some instances it just has to be the bad guys. I mean,
The star just popped out as you said that. So no, I feel there's a bigger reason for all of this, Elisa. Again,
Is it to wake people up, for people to go like, okay, this makes
what's
no
going
sense,
on?
like to start questioning things?
Yeah, and maybe, and it's interesting because Dennis has asked, what are the white hats not letting us see? And I was sitting there this morning. I love contemplating out in the morning, even it was hot and sticky and pea soup. I went, no, I've just got to be outside just to contemplate. And I was going, what is it they don't want us to see? They were my exact words. So that's really interesting. So there's stuff going on. And yeah, we don't know. We don't know how all the technology and the mechanics of this earth plane work. So, but I will ask about Mother Nature and see if Kathleen is it Mother Nature also helping to right herself naturally, and maybe they're also preventing things being worse than what they could be with Mother Nature
Could be.
writing her. Let's just see that is Mother. Oh, that one's real tingly. Is Mother Nature writing herself? Yeah, look at that. We've got our Ten of Pentacles. To me, this is a very abundant card. Lots of things going on. So I would say that that's also an aspect of it too, Kathleen. Oh, man, that's tingling too. Huh. King of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles. Now, this is the master of creating things. So I would say that it's working in conjunction. They're working in conjunction with what's happening on a natural level too. Okay. So, yeah, the Magician. So, look, there's a lot. We don't know, a lot of smoke and mirrors, but there's a lot of strategy that's going on as well. I mean, those three cards, that's pretty incredible to sort of get more clarity around what's happening. We just don't see beyond the clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that answers Amanda's question, I believe. So what yeah.
So Amanda, look, they might be using some geoengineering and things like that, of course. But there's a bigger and deeper reason. And my gut feeling is that it's not, what's the word? It's not the nasty aspect of it. There's something bigger going on. It's happening right across the whole world. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so then Dennis had this question: is there a planet in red shift near the Earth?
What does that mean, Dennis? Do you get what that means, Elisa? I'm not quite sure, Dennis, how to interpret that. Red shift. What does red shift mean?
That's I think red shift, it must be some movie or something.
That dropped out. I don't know if that helps, but if we could find out a little bit more about red shift, near the Earth, that'd be great. So, but the Tower card did drop out then, so let's see what's going on. So, okay, so Nick's asked a good question too. Being reactivated.
Energy lines being reactivated.
Okay. Let's just have a look at that. Yeah, because, I mean, I know the frequency, Nick, that's coming through has definitely been activating grid points and things like that, and us. And we are, remember, we're channelers, we're like a transmuter as well for the frequency coming in. But let's just see if it's got anything to do with reactivation. Oh, that one's really tingly. 50-50. So we've got the Two of Pentacles. So it's like maybe a little bit. Yeah, but what I was getting intuitively was it's more the frequency that's coming through that's doing that. Knight of Swords. So it's something that's more directly targeted towards like grid lines or energy lines. Okay, I'm just getting something intuitively as well. Yeah, it's so interesting because I was just getting this intuitively, and then this card came up with all the areas that have been worked on with black magic or with things that aren't have been, against the flow of love and blessings and whatever. I feel that they're being cleaned out too. So you can clear out an area physically, but it has to be done energetically. So that's actually some aspects of it. So that is interesting. Yeah. What are your thoughts with that, Elisa? Yeah, look at that. King of Pentacles has popped up again. So that's in charge of that aspect of it going on.
Yeah. Okay.
They'd be using, I believe, my belief system is that they would be using people that know how to work with energy to help clear all that stuff that's been had, rituals and things done with those particular ley lines and energy lines.
Well, I also think that there's a lot of grid workers doing that work.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, even the gridding we do once a month, it's so powerful, and our intention is always for all humanity, all of sentient life, and all energetic aspects of the earth. So and people are doing that all over the earth just because it's something they're drawn to do.
yeah.
But there would be people that specifically, I believe, are in cahoots with the ones that know where everything that's going on as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like part of the team. Just
Yeah.
make sure I've got all my cards. My cards just like to fall off.
Okay, so Lady Hawk has said, is the fog created by stanic chloride, biological chemical from World War I U.S. patent? Let me put our banner up, which I always forget.
Well done to remember. Entertainment only. Let's have a look. Oh, is that how you spell it, Lady Hawk? Do you mean satanic or do you mean stanic?
No, I think stanic chloride because it's describing the chloride.
Yeah, I was wondering that. So, okay, so stanic chloride. I've never heard of stanic chloride, but let's just see what the cards have to say about it. Okay. Is the fog that's being created at this time, is it created? Is most of it being created by that stanic? No, the Justice card has come up, so I don't feel it's anything nefarious, which is always a good thing. I love getting that up first in this sort of situation where there's a question. And you want to come up. Queen of Pentacles. So no, she's someone that's contemplating what the environment's doing, where she's at, what's happening in her reality. So no, I believe that they're in more control of this than doing that sort of thing. And there could be aspects or places where they're doing stuff, but it's being jumped on straight away. That's what those two cards are telling me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and King of Cups came up. So this is an emotional aspect that something's been hidden. So we don't know what's going on, and it can cause some anxiety and it can cause some sadness. But with those other two cards, I wouldn't worry, Lady Hawk. So currently at this stage, no, that's not being used. They could have done it beforehand. Yes.
Okay. This is a great question from Amanda. Have you seen those crystals that are emerging from underneath the roads? And it's like quartz crystal, like pushing up the roads.
No.
Yeah. Like gigantic quartz crystals. And they're just like, poop. And then there's this bump on the road with like the concrete just like ripping out. It's actually asphalt. So there have been crystal emerging through the ground lately. Are more crystals going to emerge around our planet this year to activate the grid?
Amanda, that's a really good question because, my understanding of how crystals are formed is they actually come through from, they can come even through from starlight, from energy from stars and dust, so they energetically and consciously come through onto the Earth's grid lines, and then they're physically formed and popped up. So they would definitely be activating the grid. I think yesterday we were talking about how Moldavite was meant to be an interdimensional. They call it an asteroid. I always say it's an interdimensional from another realm that's come through onto Earth. And Moldavite was the masculine aspect, so they needed a feminine aspect. So they brought labradorite, then was birthed through the Earth to actually balance it. So you can imagine the energy coming through from those crystals would definitely be working on the grid line. So let's have a look and see. Let's see if there'll be any more like episodes going on like that. Oh, and I'm getting the hit to also ask Jasper about this one too. So it's going to really play with some people's minds. That Five of Swords has come up. So a lot of people are going to be going, what is going on?
Yeah.
This is actually going to, wake a lot, like get people asking questions about, well, what's our Earth really? What really is our Earth? Because we've been told lies, remember? That Page of Swords, we've been told a lot of lies about what our Earth is and where we actually even live.
Yeah.
The world's just come up. So I feel this is actually going to really activate more than just the grids. It's actually going to activate a lot of aspects of the world and a lot of new things, new wisdom is going to come through from this. So yeah, I reckon we are going to get more with those cards. Whew. So
Wow, I hope they're around me somewhere. I mean, those crystals looked
oh,
amazing.
I know. That's right. I was going to tune into Jasper with this one because he's our beautiful crystal fairy, as we know, as much as he is a enhancer through the energy. So Jasper, can you tell us a little bit more about these crystals? Wow, what he's showing me is they're birthing themselves now because of the frequency that's coming through, and it's forming like he's actually showing me that there might even be caves that are found that are whole new caves, of whether it's amethyst or really, yeah. He said, and he's showing me really big stalactites and things like that as well, big caves. He said they're being activated with this frequency, and I'm just going to ask him, is that actually what was meant to have happened? And he said it's the only way this energy can now come through and manifest on Earth because there's so much frequency coming through,
Wow.
and the crystals are bringing it in. Is there anything else you want to show me? He just says, no, expect more, expect more. So there you go.
Oh, yes, let's expect more.
Yeah.
That would be
Thanks,
awesome.
Jessie. Yep. Oh.
Wow, amazing.
So, yeah, it was amazing. And I didn't even know that. I hadn't even heard about that. So thanks, Amanda.
Yeah, no, they're amazing, just amazing. So, Dennis was saying red shift is the color it's been seen in. We can't see the full because of that.
So you mean the spectrum is red, Dennis? I think that's what it's been seen in. So what was the question again? Is there a red shift planet? Is that what he asked originally? Let me just have a look.
Is there a planet in redshift near Earth?
Is there a planet in redshift near Earth? Okay, let's just ask that. Now I sort of get a bit more of an image of what you're asking.
Yeah, but you got what was it? The bad guy, no? No, the tower. The
tower card. So there's something changing. Okay, let me just. First of all, I'm going to actually ask about the planets. Oh, that one really wants to come up. It's you. The Magician. I was just going to say, I think what we've been taught about our planets and our stars is actually maybe not correct. It's not the true picture of what we're seeing in our skies, because that Magician is all about smoke and mirrors.
Well, and that's the part, because I was talking to you about the dome, right? We were talking about the dome and satellites, and I think that's why what we've been told and shown is not what we think.
Exactly. It's fascinating. I'm just going to pull some more cards on this though. So the Hanged Man's come up. So this is, I feel that it's like things are on hold because the real truth isn't actually being shown to us yet. So and the Hanged Man is also about releasing our own old belief systems and just going in and sitting and asking for wisdom to come through as to what is truth. And I love contemplating, as I said, out in my balcony, because I can see all the stars and I can see the whole sky. So Four of Cups. So we're being offered something that maybe isn't something that we want to believe anymore. So that Four of Cups is something like, no, I don't want that. So what I was getting now, again, this is my interpretation of what I was getting told, is the stars and planets are actually a reflection. They're a reflection of a true energy. It's not the actual entity or being. It's a reflection of it. And I got that the moon has its own luminosity, its own light, and it's not what we think. So I've been getting like little downloads and things, and I'll just go, oh, that makes so much sense. It just feels right. So, but that's me, and everyone has to discern for themselves what's right. So, so if there's a planet in redshift near the Earth, Dennis, it's saying that there's another way that we need to be looking at things. So Yeah, from the cards anyway. Because planet, I don't think planets are just going. They're not just going out in outer space. You know, for us, no. Five of Wands. This is very much a lot of action being taken that's causing like literally fights. Nine of Wands. It's been a long, hard road, and we've been told so many lies and so many untruths. We're pretty wary, battle wary from it all. Yep, but we will get the truth. King of Wands has come up. To me, this is someone that has integrity, very wise, and takes action. That is going to give us truth. So, but
So
no, I
Dennis,
would say no.
yeah. So Dennis was asking, are we going to be substitutes for some of the crystals to direct the energy?
Are we going to be substitutes for some?
So I think he's
Oh,
meaning
I see what you mean.
us as people, right? Because
Yeah,
we're becoming crystalline.
we are indeed becoming crystalline, Dennis. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I believe that we're already doing that. Some of us are already doing that. And this is why sometimes you can feel the top of your crown of your head either being really tender, or you can feel burning or tingling. Sometimes we can get light body symptoms as we're bringing through this consciousness and frequency. We have to let go of the old stuff. And so it's like we go through a changeover. So we can get heart palpitations, a bit of nausea, dizziness, ear ringing, fatigue, you know, lots of different symptoms. So absolutely, yeah. And I believe we've already been doing that too, Dennis. I believe that's been our role. I've been doing this for years. I remember I'd be told, right, you have to move to this certain area. I'd go, okay, and then an amazing place would come up and I'd live there. But then I'd be so dizzy, I'd be going, I feel like I'm taking some drugs and I don't even know what that feels like, but I'm off my face. And it would go on for ages. And I got told, I said, should I be doing anything anymore? This is before I did transference healing and I already was doing other energy work. And they said, no, you're just here to hold, you're here to hold a light for the grid that's moving through. So I was an anchor point. So I believe we've probably all done that.
Yeah.
Or do
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So talking about that, because I don't want to get too far away from the dome discussion, the question came up that by a friend of mine. So if there's a dome, then how can there be satellites? Because supposedly satellites are being held in orbit by this. It's being held because of the orbit that goes around Earth, right?
Yeah.
And so if there's a dome, that means we really can't have satellites. And so I wanted to ask and discuss this a little bit
Yeah.
further.
Yep, definitely. What would you like me to ask? Let's see
I would
what the
like
cards
to
can give.
ask if satellites, as we imagine them, so okay, so I'm imagining the orbit around Earth, you know, those pictures they have shown us, right? And then the
Yeah.
satellite is just going around Earth, you know, and I have seen them. Like I have seen the light just go like, and you can tell it's a satellite because it looks different than UFOs. It looks different than stars. It looks different than airplanes. So, I mean, if I've seen it, I mean,
Yep.
it could be CGI. Hey, you know, if it's a dome, they could put a screen, you know, on that dome and it looks like it's real, but
Do you know, as you were talking and I was asking, so are satellites real then if we're seeing them in the sky? And then you started talking about what they can do and we got the magician card. It was so hot I had to pick that card up.
so
The
it's
magician is
CGI.
smoke
It's like
and
a
mirrors.
CGI.
It's showing us, yeah. If okay, let's look at it this way. If the wisdom or the knowing I got about the stars and planets being a reflection of something, surely then they can throw a light up there that looks like a satellite going across. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. That just came up. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
there's still got to be some sort of space. Like there is, of course, the dome's not going to be right here. It's obviously there's some
way up
space and some,
right.
yeah. So there is a room to play with. Let's face it. So you know we can, and where do portals come into this? Where do you know interdimensional portals and things come in?
Well, I heard that outside of the dome, there's plasma now. I had not heard this theory before, but supposedly the above the dome is plasma. And you were talking about how you felt it was plasma.
Absolutely. And I felt like the plasma to me felt like more visible or more real. And when Jasper showed me that sliding in and out of like changing, when you're changing a photo plate or something, like in the old days, I used to change, that's what he was showing me. And so maybe we see that plasma while something's being changed, because I've not felt anything like that before.
So can I ask, I don't know if you saw Hunger Games, right?
Yeah, I
So we're
did.
inside they're inside the Hunger Games, and you look up, right? And it's it's like a screen, right?
Correct.
And
And
so
yes,
is that what we are? Is that
let's have a look.
how this freaking dome is?
Is that part of the video game where you've got people up, like we've talked about, like directing stuff? Who knows? Let's find out. Let's see if the cards can give us a heads up on that one. I mean, this is it. Once you start asking questions, it's like you just get fed a little bit more and a little bit more to keep asking. It's so true. Yeah, like a slide projector, Teresa, when you change the slides. Yes. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is making sense. So there's a yes to that, but there's another thing that's come up, which is our Seven of Wands, because the Ace of Wands to me is always, yes, there's an action that's been taken. The Seven of Wands is about maintaining an individuality or maintaining a sense of self or purpose. And I feel with the Earth, that's what's been done. It's like the Earth has also been our own consciousness as well, even though there's this interplay, because we're talking about the Earth. So let me just see. Oh, let me see what the clarifying card is. That one's really hot. Yeah. So the Six of Pentacles is there would be an aspect of that definitely comes into play, but it has to be kept in balance with the Six of Pentacles. It's about offering something into a reality, but maintaining a balance. Does that make sense? So there is an aspect of that where there's something that can come from the outside or from another place to actually activate things within the Earth plane.
So you're saying, okay, so is that a yes to it being CGI?
Yes, some of it can be. Yes. Yep. So the Earth is still, from what I could get from the cards there and what I was seeing, the Earth is actually she has her own consciousness. So she is like a living being, of course, as well. So there's still aspects of her that will interrelate with whatever goes on within other aspects.
So if that's the case, isn't there, like, we supposedly see the planets up there?
Well, and this is what I know, but then this is exactly, so this is what I was questioning. I was going, but how can we have all these planets that have this, apparently have an effect on us when our soul comes into this Earth plane and, astrologically,
Yeah,
like,
right.
how does all this work? And that's when I got, they are a reflection. And so they hold some of the energy of the original of the planet or of this, whatever it is. There's actually an original. It could be at land. It could be something else, but it's reflecting some of that energy. That's all I got. So I haven't looked at it more. That's something that I think we could delve into more. And, I'm going to do more contemplating because I just love sitting out there. As soon as it's not like pea soup outside, I'll be outside at night contemplating.
So have you ever seen Saturn through a telescope?
Can't remember that.
When I saw it, I was like, what? It, like, literally, it's like somebody drew a white ball with like a ring around it. And it looks like, I was just like, really?
Projector. Exactly.
Yeah, like that's what it looked like. It looked like just like a Mickey Mouse ball with rings around it. And I was just like, that looks fake.
It's interesting because I think years and years ago, I remember reading somewhere where a dad was sitting there apparently lying down at night with his little boys and looking at all the stars. And his dad said, "What do you think they are?" And the little boy went, "Oh, they're just lights stuck on up there." And that just stayed with me. I'm talking 15 years ago when I wasn't even really thinking too much about this stuff. and it stayed with me. And whenever something like that stays with me, there's a hint of truth in it. So maybe they're just a light that's been stuck up there.
Yeah. So then, so are there planets?
Mm. Have a look and see what the cards say to that. Thank you. Not that we've been told we're going to have a big change of what we know, the Tower card. This is going to be a huge change, not as we know them. And I was getting those words as that I pulled that card. So this is going to be huge for people. This is why I think it's going to take a little bit of time, which is why the future cards come up. So it will be, people will slowly start to get these little aha moments, will be shown things when they're ready, because Three of Wands is looking forward to the future and leaving the past behind. So it will come out. I really believe this truth will come out. So many more people are speaking about outer space as being the space of other lands beyond the ice wall, you know, other space, and extraterrestrials. It's their territory. They're outside of our territory.
Yeah.
And you know, do some of them come in through these interdimensionally as well? So I feel, I don't know, it's not saying, oh my goodness, Two of Cups. So there's collusion going on. There's been collusion going on, but I feel now this is positive. I'm getting a positive vibe from these two people, that Two of Cups coming together. We can't just dump this on people. Can you imagine, with everything else that's going on, it's going to be a slow information giving. So planets are not what we think they are. Nope.
Wow. So Barbara, this is a question I had here. Barbara was asking, so there is no Starlink satellites? That's the question. The next question I asked myself. I'm like, so wait a minute. There's no Starlink?
Let's have a look and see. So, because we automatically imagine it's going to be in outer space, right? So with the satellites. But like I said, there still is space or room for things to maybe be up there, but maybe they're actually all being guided. Maybe it's all being done on the ground. You know, maybe people understand the concept of a satellite now.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why they're using that concept. So I don't know. Let's just see if Starlink is being done, because I could see again Starlink very clearly when there was 10 or 11 that would be going across the sky together.
Yep.
I saw them. I actually saw them a couple of times. So
you saw the screen. You saw CGI.
I saw the screen. I saw the CGI. Yeah, patience. We've got the Temperance card. So I feel that it's been done this way because then people can understand it. Oh, this is how it works around the globe, you know, because that's where people are at, which is fine. So step by step. So Temperance to me is there is change coming. It's emotionally to help keep things stable and have patience. Page of Wands, it's got to be done a little bit at a time. Okay, so the page is bringing something new in, some action in, but it's got to be done a little bit at a time. So can you imagine trying to tell people, yeah, again, the King of Wands has come up again. It's being done strategically.
Wow.
So, yeah. So fascinating, isn't it?
Very fascinating.
I know. I mean, who knows? They may have like they may have something up there that we don't know how they're doing it or what they're doing it, but then it may also be covering a certain amount of land from here, from the land. Yeah.
So let me, before I ask Kibu's question about Malaysian, so
I don't. Yeah.
There's another dome question here. What about the spaceships they send up? Where and how high do they go, or do they really go up that high?
Well, we've got our in-residence space person in Elisa, because Elisa goes and watches all the rockets go, don't you?
I do, and I see them come back because the boosters come back, and you can see them like moving, and then they land. So
Yeah, I mean, they could very well be sending things up. Like I said, they could have sent up some of those satellites and things, but then we don't know how they work now. If because it's not what they've been saying.
so sometimes
So
they look like they go through either plasma or a portal. It's
yeah,
what it looks like from here.
yeah,
Um, and it's not on every ship. It's not on every launch.
isn't
Not
that
on every
interesting?
launch. Yeah. So is there some type of portal that opens?
Let's have a look and see. So, and look, it's a really good question. I think Nick mentioned something about the difference between the dome and the firmament. Um, to me, I don't know why, I've always seen them as being the same. It's like the
Mhm.
firmament and a dome. So it depends on our perspective of what that is and what we're seeing within our own mind with
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So I believe that the matrix or the wheel where the reincarnation was just happening without souls being able to go back to source. I believe, yeah, that doesn't feel like that exists anymore. So, but we're gonna, yeah, ask about yeah, these like ships. What do we ask? Just what are they doing? Where are they going? We'll ask about the portals. Are some of them looking for the portal, or are they trying to get them through a portal? Let's have a look and see.
Yeah.
Okay. Four of Wands. Now, this always tells me that there's some action that's been taken that's created a safe place, that's created a place that they're aiming for. It's like a homing place. So it could be that they're actually looking for something like that, or judgment. Yeah. Or they're looking for something to get more answers to things. So those two cards together, they know there's more out there than what they're telling us. There's more going on. So that judgment card to me is when things are actually being revealed, when things are actually being shown up, where there's been, there's a wake up call. But I mean, I still don't understand why they'd even bother doing things like with
Right.
the rocket. Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
why? Why? They know it. They know what's there. That's what those cards are saying. Maybe it's for us, maybe, well, for people to be asking questions as to why they're doing it. Yeah. 10 of Wands. So it looks like it's nearly finished. Whatever they've been trying to do or trying to show, or the 10 of Wands is when something's nearly finished. So I'll be really interested, even in the next 12 months, to see what actually comes out. And I mean, if NASA gets taken down and exposed, like we are, we know that it's just a big, it's like a big cover, a big front for certain things. If that
Yeah.
comes through, then I believe more truths will come out. But I feel there's still a lot more to be revealed to people. We might be ready for that, but a lot of people are not.
Yeah.
So I think
So
that's maybe why they're still doing it, is just to have this looks like things are normal. And I mean, a lot of the spaceships, we know they've been made by man. They're man-made because they reversed engineered the technology.
yeah.
And so they would know where all of the portals are and the places are to come through.
Yeah. Yeah. So so let's ask the question then, if there is no outer space, does
As
space
we know it.
exist as we know it, as we've been told it exists?
Some of it's true. They always give us some truth, okay? That Knight of Pentacles tells me that some of the message that's been brought to us is a truth, but not all of it. And I was getting intuitively that their space is not what we feel it is. It's like, okay, imagine going through a portal and then coming out into a whole nother dimension or whatever. It actually might fit, it would be a whole part of space for us. So it's not what we thought it is. Yeah, Ace of Cups. It's really hard to explain it. I'm seeing it whereas I'm going through these portals and it feels like it feels like space. So when I'm doing, I don't know if you guys do this, but when I'm traveling into dimensionally or I'm gridding, I'll actually in my mind's eye, I'll be going through like this journey, and it will look like I'm in the like what I would perceive the universe to be, which is like that deep velvety, blackish bluish sort of color with. So maybe this is what they knew about, and therefore they show us that in pictures. So when we see that, when we're journeying or we actually are doing that sort of work, we can go, oh, I'm in outer space. Don't know, but that's what the Ace of Cups is telling me, that there's a lot that's some truths, but a lot of non-truths.
Wow. Mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have known it would go this way today?
Well, that's what and like I said, just let's see what happens, because all of these guys here just have amazing questions. There's stuff I wouldn't even think of asking, which I love, and and that strength card just flipped. So with all of our beautiful group, we become stronger together because we have such different perspectives and we ask such different questions. It's brilliant. So you've done really good today, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Thank you so much, everybody. If there's any questions left, hold them till next Monday and we'll ask them then. Thank you so much for being here, for your support. We love you so much. Stay high vibing. Maree, anything else?
No, just love yourselves. Be really kind to yourselves, and just feel your way through life, and be the observer, as Elisa says so many times. And Jasper is just sending so much love. I can feel it. So really, even if you're not watching this live, watching it later, you're going to getting big hugs and love from Jasper. So,
all right. Well, we love you, everybody. Bye-bye.